Hello chess lovers! After a 3-week break, finally I am back. As you know, my old laptop was out of order, which by the way served me very well. For 7.5 years it was my working horse. And now once I'm lucky to own Lenovo Legion 5, which by the way is just a monster, a very powerful one, I can start making videos all over again. On your screen you can see how fast it is, which will allow me to do deep analysis and also will make the video exporting process way shorter. And now what can be better than celebrating a comeback with a game played by the magician from Riga, by Mikhail Tal. Yes, once again we are going to witness a fantastic attack by Mikhail Tal. In this game, Tal's opponent is Cuban International master Joaquin Diaz. The game was played in 1976 at Biel Interzonal tournament. So in this game, the 8th world chess champion had white pieces and he started the game with d4, to which Diaz answered with knight f6, c4, c5, d5, b5. Against Tal, Diaz is going for Benko Gambit, a very sharp opening which usually leads to a very entertaining battle. But in here, instead of accepting the gambited pawn, Tal decided to develop his kingside knight. This is the second most popular choice. And actually it's Tal who is gambiting a pawn, right? B takes c4, knight c3, d6, e4. Now Tal will win back that pawn. Bishop takes c4, g6. Nothing special, both players are hurrying with the development. Rook e1 castling kingside, bishop g5. In here usually white is playing h3 in order not to allow knight g4, knight e5, which is a very standard idea in Benko Gambit, but in this case we see bishop g5, h6. Actually there was no need for h6, going for knight g4 and then knight e5 is better. But black hurried with weakening his king side. Yeah, this is a very bold decision, you know, and later for this h6 g5 black will pay a very high price. Meanwhile, at this point, of course, there is nothing wrong with black's position, but later this can be a potential weakness. Knight g4, so finally black is going for that idea. Is centralizing his knight, knight ge5, and in here instead of going for the exchange of knights, this time it was Tal who went for a knight maneuver, knight f1, c4. This time black is not only restricting the movement of this bishop, but also is freeing the c5 square for the knight. Knight e3, knight c5. Well, black is proceeding with his idea, but there was no need for this. Choosing quiet moves like rook b8 or knight f6 is better, but instead we see knight c5, and once the knight blocked the queen's path, the pawn on c4 found itself unprotected and Tal won it. Knight takes c4, knight takes e4. This is already catastrophic and is losing. At least it was better to recapture on c4 and then play bishop d7, but in this case black is simply a pawn down, you know. This is definitely not what Mr. Diaz was intending to do, and instead he played knight takes e4. Yes, this was his idea, but this line favors only white. Yes, never go for massive complications against Mikhail Tal. Knight takes e4, knight takes c4, queen c2, and this was the whole problem, because in this case suddenly this knight finds itself pinned. Queen a5. By attacking the rook on e1, black broke up the pin, but this can't help black. The most aggressive player went for bishop takes g5. There it goes. Tal is not only connecting his rooks, is protecting the rook on e1, but also is destroying black's defensive shield. Now if h takes g5, then knight takes g5, and now white is creating not only a mating threat, but also this knight is still hanging on c4. That's why to bishop takes g5 black answered with knight a3 by relying on this pin. But Tal cold-heartedly won the knight on a3. Although I have to tell you that according to Stockfish, queen d3 is equally strong, but we have b takes a3. Bishop takes a1, rook takes a1, h takes g5, knight takes g5, f5. Looks like the storm is over and black is even an exchange up. But the one who should worry is black because black king is exposed and that gives white a great attacking chance. White's idea is simple, to play queen h3 and then announce a checkmate. Black played e5. At the cost of giving up a pawn, black is freeing the 7th rank, and now, for example, with queen c7, black can cover essential squares. D takes e6, a move which usually throws amateurs into a confusion, but this is an absolutely legal move. Queen e5, attacking the rook. Also, now black queen is ready to cover some very essential squares. Rook d1, king g7, queen c4. Now white wants to harass black king from the 7th rank. Rook b8, queen c7 check, king g6. What was the point of rook b8? Maybe black was expecting that after a check Tal would win it. But I have to tell you that at this point even queen takes b8 is winning. If queen takes e2, then queen takes d6, and the one who is winning is white. But Tal chose a more precise continuation and he played queen h7 check. He's sacrificing the knight as well. But black played king f6. Let's take a look what if king takes g5. Then in here white has a very beautiful f4 move. How do you like this move? If king takes f4, then queen h6 check, and then a checkmate will follow. Or after f4 check, if a move like queen takes f4, then queen g7, and then g3. The game is over. So in the game to queen h7 check, Diaz answered with king f6, and there comes e7, asking this guy to move away. And then, for example, queen f7 can be also played. Yeah, after rook e8, queen f7 followed. King takes g5, queen takes e8. No problem at all. Black can already resign. Queen g8 check, king f6, another check, king g5, and with h4 check, Tal finally forced a resignation. Now if a king takes h4, then queen h6 check, and then rook d4 check. Finally the rook is also joining the attack, thus not allowing black king to survive. But the line, which is very beautiful, starts with king h5. In this case, white can play queen f6. Yeah, this is a very nice line where white is sacrificing his rook as well, but in return is threatening, for example, queen g5 checkmate. Now if queen takes d1, then king h2, and now there is queen g5 mating threat, and also this pawn is ready to step on the 8th rank. And yeah, no way out, black king is in a mating net. That's why after this h4 check, Diaz resigned. Yes, this was a very nice game by Tal. By making a tricky pawn sacrifice, Diaz entered into complications, and of course the one who prevailed was Mikhail Tal. Hope that you enjoyed this game, and in the end let's also solve a chess puzzle, an easy one where the task is to find the winning line for black. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Also, tell me please what were you busy with during this time, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.